Okay, class, let's review and go over how to solve word problems. And this time we're going to look at it with fractions. So if we're going to do it with fractions, let's look at a problem. I want to go over this problem from our review. This was from review 2, and it was number 21. I was supposed to go over this in class, and I don't think we ever got to it. So this was review 2, problem number 21, which was on page 64. There's a lot of information in this word problem, so we're going to have to organize our information. Let's do one thing at a time. Let's read it first, and it's good to read it out loud so you can hear yourself read this. So I'm going to read it out loud. 2,500 people took part in a cross-country race. I'm going to underline as I go and notice the important parts. The number of adults were 4 times the number of children. The number of adults were 4 times the number of children. It's okay to read each sentence twice. If there were 1,200 men, how many women were there? Okay, so what do I know? I know that there's a total that is 2,500 people, and there are men and there are women, and I know that the number of adults were 4 times the number of children. Okay, now that I see that I'm comparing adults and children, and I want to show you how I'm adapting as we go here. Instead of doing one whole bar, I'm going to do 2 because we're comparing 2 groups. So this is not the total here. We have adults compared to the children. What did they tell us? That the adults were 4 times the number of children. So I say 1, 2, 3, 4 times the number of children. I'm going to compare it like this. And I know that the total, I'm going to move this over here now, is 2,500 or 2,500. So now I have this information. The adults are 1, 2, 3, 4 times the number of the children. There are 2,500 total in the total. Now, what other information do I have? There are 1,200 men. So how many women are there? Okay, I don't know which one of these are men or women. So I have a whole nother group of information that I can't really do anything because all I have is that I have adults and children. So I'm going to pause for a moment and ask myself, what do I know? And you might even write over here, 1,200 men. This is the other information that I can't really do anything with yet. How many women? So what can I do with that first information that I have? Look at what we have. We have the total is 2,500, 2,500, and I have 5 equal parts because I have 4 times the number of adults and 1 part children. 5 equal parts is breaking it into fifths. So this is a fraction of the whole. If there are 4 equal parts are adults and 1 part is children, that's 5 equal parts. So if we have all equal parts, how do I find a part if I have the whole? Well, if you have a whole and you're looking for a part, you're either going to subtract or divide. Since I have equal parts, of course, I'm going to divide 2,500 divided by 5 equal parts would be 500 because 5 times 5 is 25. That means that each of these parts each is 500. That means there's 500 children. That means there's 2,000 adults. Now I know there's 2,000 adults. So that now I can take that information. If there are 1,200 men, how many women are there? Well, again, I have the whole. I'm looking for parts. So if 1,200 is 1 part, the other part, I subtract to find. Here I don't have equal groups. 2,000 minus 1,200. Well, 20 minus 12 is 8. So 20 hundreds minus 1,200 would be 100 women. I just found that answer. For this problem, we just had to break it down with ask yourself, what do I know? And you take it one step at a time. And remember, we take our part whole models. Here's the whole, here's the parts. And for a part whole, if you have the whole, to find another part, remember, we're either going to divide or subtract. With equal groups, you divide with one part and you find the difference, you're going to subtract. Hope that helps you with that one. Let's do another example from exercise from pages 62 and 63, I believe, in your workbook. It's just to review word problems. So this will actually be from pages 63 and 64, where we have two-step word problems. Those are the ones I'm going to do. So I'm going to clear this off and look at this example here where we see Mylene, however you say her name, it doesn't matter. You can call her anybody. You can say Bethany had $20. She used 2/5 of it to buy a book. How much did she have left? Well, there's 3 ways I can solve this problem. I can take what I just learned about multiplying times a whole number and say, well, if she used 2/5 of her original of the whole was $20, remember, we can change this to 20 over 1, and now we can simplify before we multiply. And 5 and 20 have a common factor of 1. I'm sorry, of 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4. And now we multiply to find that she used $8 because 2 times 4 is 8. 8 over 1 equals $8. Or I can do this another way. I'm going to clear this off. That was method 1. What about another way to do this? If I know she had $20 and she used 2/5, well, if she used 2/5, I can say she had the total amount, which was one group, and she used 2/5. That would leave 3/5. So she has 3/5 left. 3/5 of the entire amount of $20. If you know that 2/5 was what she used, then we can find 3/5 of 20 to find out how much she has left. So again, we can simplify 5 divided by 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 3 times 4, that would give her $12 left. I'm sorry, I didn't complete that problem a minute ago. I found out the 2/5 was $8, and then we'd have to subtract the 8. Sorry, I forgot to do that last step. 20 minus 8 is $12. This is the second way to do it. We take the total and subtract a fraction, and we find that the remainder was 3/5, and then find the 3/5 of the 20. Both of these, notice how I forgot a step in the first one, forgot what we were trying to find. Always ask yourself, what am I trying to find? Because these are multi-step problems. How about, I personally like this method better because it organizes into a picture, and then maybe I won't forget a step. So let's look at this. If I had $20, this is my total. She had $20. Let's show that this is all of it. $20. She used 2/5. So that means I'm going to break it into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she used 2/5. So 2/5, 1, 2, to buy a book. How much does she have left? I want to indicate what this is. I'm going to indicate that this is what she used. Kind of wanted to do a different color here. This is what she used to buy the book. She used to buy a book. So if she used 2/5 of it, remember, fifths, I broke it into 5 equal parts, then I can say, well, looking at this bar model, if I have 5 equal parts, remember, equal parts, I have the whole and I have equal parts. That means I can divide to find out what each unit or each of the equal parts equals. So 20 divided by 5 equals 4. 20 divided by 5 equals 4. That means 1 unit equals 4. So how much did she use for the book? That would be 8. This would be my remainder. How much does she have left? Well, 4 times 3 equals $12 she has left. This is actually my preferred method to do this because you probably won't forget. You could stop at what the book was like I did at the first one, but remember, what are we looking for? How much she has left. I like this method because it's a picture and we can see. Now you can still draw the picture and multiply. You can use the picture and say 2/5 of 20. You can combine the two methods. Equals 8. So you know that both of this is 8. So if both of these are 8, then you could find the 1 unit is 4. But notice also when you simplify right here, you're finding what 1/5 is. So those are 3 different ways to solve that problem. Let's look at another problem. Maybe I won't forget a step this time. 48 children went to the zoo. 48 children went to the zoo. 3/8 of them were girls. So again, we can draw a bar model. Remember, I said this is just my preferred way of doing this to organize our information. We know that the total is 48. 3/8 of them are girls. How many boys were there? So if we have 3/8, that means I have 8 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. 8 equal parts, and 3/8 of them are girls. So 3/8 over here are girls. 3/8 are girls. We're trying to find out how many are boys. Well, if these are girls, then these are my boys. So I can, once I draw this bar model, I say, oh, well, if this is 3/8, this is 5/8. And I could say, well, 48 and 8 equal parts means I can find out what 1 part is, or 1/8, by saying 48 divided by 8 equals 6, because 6 times 8 is 48. So if 1/8 is 6, I can say each of these is 6. So my boys are 5 of these parts. So 5 times 6 is 30. There were 30 boys that went to the zoo. So this was a multi-step problem. So drawing this part whole bar right here, this bar model to show what to organize my information will help me tremendously. Let's look at, let me see if I have one more here. Nope, I don't have another one, but I do want to just talk about if you have a whole and you're looking for a part, remember, you have a whole and you know how many equal parts. So if I said I have 1/4 of 20 pencils are sharpened. Well, let's say, here's my total, and 1/4 of them would be right here. How many pencils are not sharpened? Well, if 1/4 are sharpened, these are my sharpened pencils. These would be my not sharpened pencils, unsharpened. Wouldn't be a hyphenated word, but we'll just keep it that way. And so I'm left with, I don't have another number, but I do know there's 4 equal parts. So if there's 4 equal parts, I can divide by 4 and find what each unit is. So that's 5, because 5 times 4 is 20. So that means there are 15 unsharpened pencils. I hope this helps you solve the word problems. I'm going to encourage you to please draw a bar model or something to organize your information. Okay, thank you for listening, and I hope this helps you.